Hey y'all, so today we are talking about graffiti and the difference between good graffiti and bad graffiti, so legal and illegal, and one of the most famous artists that made graffiti popular. So there's all types of graffiti. And the graffiti you probably see maybe on the sides of buildings, on the sides of train cars, is typically done with spray paint. Some of that, or a lot of that, is probably illegal, but there are legal graffiti, or there is legal graffiti. Now, legal graffiti is typically done with permission, not always though. Legal graffiti is planned out, it's very thoughtful, it typically has a message, and the message is normally positive. So it has to be something that's trying to better the community, otherwise you will be fined for it, especially if you didn't ask permission. Now, illegal graffiti, there's no purpose. There's just to be destructive. It's to be hateful. And it is always done without permission. So we are going to be looking at legal graffiti that's done for a thoughtful, powerful message that is uplifting, and we're going to ask permission before we do anything. Now, our graffiti that we're going to be doing is going to be mainly on the iPad, but I want to show you a style of a very famous graffiti artist, or one that made it really popular, and that's Keith Haring. So Keith Haring was a graffiti artist in the 1980s. He got his start in New York City, and actually the subway system in 1980. In the subway system, they had these panels, these black panels, where they would glue up posters that businesses would pay for to advertise different things. And they would take the posters down and put a new one up occasionally, and it would just be left with a black panel in between. So Keith Haring would take chalk and draw on these black panels. Now, the first thing he did was that he used chalk, so he was not trying to be destructive. It was very easily cleaned off. It's not like spray paint that has to come off with a very special chemical and be scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. It was just chalk that could be sprayed down or hosed down. So he was fine sometimes for his drawings, but not all the time. In fact, kids walking to school or riding the subways every morning used to love his artwork, and because of this, because his artwork became so popular for its message and for its style, people started paying Keith Haring to actually draw on these panels. So he went from being a legal graffiti artist, and even though, it was illegal, at least he wasn't doing it with destructive means. He was using chalk, and again, he had a very powerful message. He was able to become a professional graffiti artist. He went from being an amateur to a paid artist, and it's all about how you do it, if you ask permission, and if it is a thoughtful message. So we're going to take a look at some of Keith Haring's work and his unique style. So here is one of his most famous works that I have on the screen for you, and you can actually see the subway panel in this painting. He went on to create artwork all around the world. He was even able to do artwork on the Berlin Wall. People paid him to do giant murals after he became famous, and he paved the way for graffiti artists. So now we can ask permission and we can create our own graffiti art. For us, we're actually going to start off on the iPad, and we're going to try to do it in the same unique style that Keith Haring did, but you're going to learn how to do it like him, but you're also going to create your own unique message. It could be something simple like anti-bullying, don't do drugs, but it needs to be a positive message, maybe being kind, showing love. So continue watching this video to learn how to create your assignment. So we're going to get started first off in Sketches School, and we're just going to draw a basic stick figure. I want you to draw your stick figure however you would like, in whatever position you are like. I am going to draw mine running, but I do not want you to copy mine. I want you to try to draw your own stick figure in your own position. Now, I'm not sure what my guy is running for yet. I'll probably figure that out later, but I'm just trying to get the positioning right, and I really want to make it look like he's running. But don't overthink it. It is just a stick figure. And when you're satisfied, when you're happy with your stick figure, go ahead and take a screenshot of it, and you'll find out why in a second. Now, this is just my sketch, and that's why I use the pencil tool. But for your sketch, you also might want to use a different color besides black. This might help you later on, depending on how you like to sketch. So now that I have taken my screenshot, I'm actually going to back out of this page and make a whole new page in sketches school. The stick figure is actually going to be the skeleton to the body of our drawing. That's why we did a sketch first. And we don't want the sketch or the stick figure in our finished drawing. Now this bar at the bottom of the page will allow you to change the transparency of your sketch. So it might be easier if you make it a little bit transparent and just hit that check mark when you're done. Here I'm just checking to make sure if I draw on top of my stick figure sketch and take it away that only my drawing is left. You don't want to do this later on or go all the way through your drawing and then find out you can't take away your stick figure and start over. That would be terrible. Now I'm using the second pen tool on the medium size, and I'm using black ink, and I'm just going to try and draw a body right around my stick figure. I am not looking for elbows and hands. I just want a basic shape. It's basically going to be a thicker version of a stick figure. It's the best way I can describe it. Just leave the head a circle, little nubs for arms and legs, and that's it. So I paused here because I could not figure out what looked wrong about my stick figure, and then I realized that my chest of my stick figure needed to be in front of that back arm. We wouldn't see that whole back arm, we'd only see part of it. Then I went back in and added some motion lines like you see in Keith Haring's drawings. Make it look like that my guy is running really fast or moving his arms and legs back really fast. Now, you're going to color this in, but here's a cheat tool. If you click on the paint roller tool and you make sure that all of your lines are closed in, you can just tap inside of your stick figure person and it would color in your whole drawing for you. And that's all you have to do to finish out your drawing. Now I am going to add some more decorations for mine to kind of show my message, because I said my guy was running. I just didn't know quite for what he was running for yet. Well, now I'm going to use the ABC shape tool and pull out a heart. I'm going to change the size and placement, and when I'm finished, I'm just going to hit the check mark. So maybe my guy is running for love. Not sure. I am still going to use the second pen tool, the same size and the same black ink that we used to outline our stick figure person and outline the heart, just to make everything cohesive and to make it look like it belongs together. When you are finished with your drawing or your Keith Haring graffiti art and you are confident about your message, so I wouldn't stop here. I try to make my message a bit more clear, but I haven't figured it out yet. Shame on me. But when you're finished, just take a screenshot or save this image and then upload that back into Seesaw. Now save this for next week because we're going to put a word with our picture, and you will need this drawing for next week's project.